Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Zoe Alsbury. I'm an HCI certified health and life coach focused on burnout recovery. Now, last week, we talked about the 3 types of burnout. That's burnout by boredom, social burnout, and burnout by volume. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out, get caught up as a refresher, and come back here because today we're talking about one of the most important tools you have to use in your burnout recovery journey. And that is boundaries. Boundaries will help you with all 3 types of burnout. We all know boundaries are important, but knowing that and actually doing it can be 2 very different things. I struggled with boundaries for a long time. I had trouble saying no, I felt guilty, I thought it made me selfish. But the truth is, setting boundaries and listening to your internal yes and no actually allows you to show up as a better friend, a better partner, a better person, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. We want our kindness and our service to come from a genuine, loving place, not a resentful one. And if you're new to setting boundaries, it will feel difficult at first. That's normal. Give yourself permission to start small. How to know when you need to set a boundary. Your body will literally tell you. Let's imagine you get a phone call and your chest tightens and you do that sigh like, that is information. I want you to start paying attention to the feeling of resentment. And if you've been people-pleasing for a long time, you might feel this a lot in the beginning. Even small favors can feel really overwhelming if you're not used to saying no. You might even feel resentment toward people you genuinely care about. This doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you've been overextending yourself. When you're learning to set boundaries, I want you to start with your easier relationships. Let's say, for instance, you get invited to something that you do not have the capacity for. I want you to just say, no thank you, and stop there. Don't give a big, long explanation for your reasoning behind it because that gives people space to argue with your boundary. A healthy response to this boundary would sound something like, okay, no problem. I hope you enjoy your rest. And I want you to notice how that feels. That feeling of ease and acceptance, that's what setting a healthy boundary is supposed to feel like. Get used to this feeling before you move on to more difficult relationships. One of the biggest mistakes you can make when setting a boundary is over-explaining. It's a very common mistake. So instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just really tired and I've been stressed at work, just give them, hey, I can't make it tonight. Thank you for thinking of me. The more you explain, the more you invite debate. And also, you don't have to apologize for taking care of yourself. A boundary is not about controlling someone else. It's not about punishing them. A boundary is about communicating clearly what you will do if a situation continues. For example, I may not respond right away. I'm currently unavailable. The focus is always on your behavior, not on controlling theirs. Let me give you guys some real-life boundary examples. Boundaries in dating. You can say, I'm really enjoying getting to know you and I prefer to move a little slower. You can say, also, I'm not ready for that. If they push, you can say, I've already shared my decision. I'm not comfortable with that. And if it becomes a pattern, you can say, if you continue to push my boundaries, I will not continue to see you. Boundaries for unsolicited advice. I appreciate your help, but I'm comfortable making this decision myself. Boundaries for criticism. I'm willing to discuss this, but not if I'm being criticized. Boundary for ending an unproductive conversation. Hey, I don't think this conversation is productive. Let's revisit it later. Remember, if things are going in circles and voices are raised, it is okay to pause. The most important part of setting a boundary is the follow-through. If you set a boundary and someone crosses it, you have to follow through on the action you set. For example, if you say, I do not continue conversations when voices are raised, and then you stay in that conversation for another hour, you are teaching that person that your boundary is not real. If someone crosses your boundary, that's on that person. But if you're not enforcing your boundary, that part is your responsibility. In closing, learning boundaries takes a lot of time, practice, and a lot of self-compassion. Start small, build confidence, and pay attention to how it all feels. And remember, boundaries is one of the most important tools you can learn in recovering from burnout. Good luck.